What do you advise?
The children must be allowed to be children again. They must learn to play. They must learn what it means to have fun. We need a Santa Claus on Mars.
What's up, Vault Dwellers? Dan here. Guess what? It's the holiday season, which means it's time to celebrate the sleaziest, weirdest, and most wonderfully bizarre Christmas exploitation and cult films ever made. And yeah, I'm gonna rank these by which ones deliver the most entertainment, whether through legitimate craft or just through sheer "I can't believe this shit even exists" energy. Number 10, it's a bonkers mashup madness. And number 1, it's a legitimate masterpiece that happens to feature a homicidal Santa. So go grab your liquor-filled chocolates, turn off your leg lamp, and let's celebrate Christmas cinema at its most gloriously weird.
They tried so hard to get me out of the sand, but they just couldn't do it, and then it simply got too hot for them, so off they went to the North Pole without me.
Why do you want to be here now, Santa, in the hot sun?
Well, you know, this is the time of the...
We're going to get started with what I call some magnificent chaos. We have Santa, who crashes his sleigh in Florida, which is already a fantastic start. And then he's stuck in the sand. So Santa and the ice cream bunny has these kids who show up to help him with a gorilla, and then eventually the ice cream bunny himself, who arrives in nothing less than a fire truck. But here's where it just gets beautiful. The middle of the movie, it's just completely unrelated adaptation of Tom Sawyer, Thumbelina, and I guess Jack and the Beanstalk. It just really depends on which version you watch. And none of it has anything to do with Santa Claus. This is like 3 movies stitched together with an ice cream bunny framing device, filmed at a defunct Florida theme park called Pirates World. I mean, this movie is baffling, but yet it's like, I guess it's absolutely fascinating at the same time. The ice cream bunny costume looks like something that escaped from like a regional mall Easter display, right? The movie has so much padding, it's so shameless, and it loops back around to being almost endearing, I guess. This is the kind of movie that makes you go, how? Why? But then you can't stop watching it. Is this a good movie? No, absolutely not. Is it entertaining? Possibly, in a bizarre way. This is in the so bad it's good territory. You know, a beautiful disaster made by people who just clearly have access to a theme park for just a weekend and just went for it. You're never going to forget the ice cream bunny, and that's worth something. Perfect for those watching with friends who appreciate cinematic chaos.
By golly, it is hot. I have never been so hot in my life. Oh, look at that sun. Phew. By golly.
Could you just give me, I just need some kind of, could I just have some kind of sign?
What the? Well, at least it's not a snowplow. Sid?
Sid Gronick?
Jack Frost is a wholesome family movie where Michael Keaton dies and then comes back as a snowman to be with his son for just one last Christmas. This is pure 90s family sentiment cranked to the max. Dead dad becomes snowman, teaches his kid life lessons, plays some hockey, and then eventually melts away in an emotional, manipulative finale that will absolutely wreck you if you're susceptible to that kind of thing. He does commit hard to voicing the snowman, right? And he gives it his everything, delivering life advice while being an anthropomorphic pile of snow with a goofy smile. And his son has to deal with the fact that his dad is now dead and in frozen water that could melt at any moment, which is actually kind of dark when you think about it. The special effects are just peak late 90s CGI, with like a snowman face superimposed on a practical snowman suit. It looks dated now, but it totally works for what they were trying to do back then. This isn't exploitation in the traditional sense. It's exploitation of your feelings. They weaponize Christmas sentiment and a dead parent storyline to make you cry. And honestly, totally succeed. It's so manipulative, and it's exactly what it wants to be. A perfect family Christmas movie that happens to feature a reanimated corpse made of snow.
I made the head too big.
Yep.
You're the one putting the bottom ball on the top ball.
How you doing?
Good?
Yeah.
How was Denver?
Denver's pretty cool.
Cool. How the guys?
Guys are great. Everybody says hi to you.
Santa Claus, you love me, don't you?
Santa Claus from 1959 is a Mexican Christmas holiday dream that's just absolutely wild from start to finish. All right, we have Santa, who lives in a castle in space with mechanical reindeer and children from like every nation who sing for him just constantly. He's literally fighting the devil in this movie. Yeah, a red demon with horns trying to make kids misbehave. It's just so bonkers and surreal. And I'm going to say wildly compelling here. The devil sequences, they're just legitimately unsettling in this strange, like, folksy way.
Try to awaken. There's a man outside. Marie? Marie, get up. I think that we're in danger.
What?
Yes.
Oh, yes, the assassin.
He's trying to tempt the children with toys and to corrupt them. And the movie plays it just completely straight. Like, this battle between good and evil. Santa, the voyeur, has this telescope that lets him spy on children, which feels just way creepier than it should. And Merlin the wizard, gotta have a Merlin, shows up to help him for reasons that just were never really explained. The production design, I'd say it's impressive. I mean, they've got some elaborate sets and costumes that create this alien version of Christmas pretty well. Mystery Science Theater 3000, they famously did a riff on this, which is honestly, it's probably the best way to experience this movie, unless you're just really into weird international cinema. This is Mexican Catholic imagery mixed with Christmas mythology in ways that feel just strange to American viewers. It's fascinating as a cultural artifact. I mean, you can see how different cultures interpret the same holiday through completely different lenses. It's essential viewing for anyone who wants to see how wonderfully weird Christmas movies can get.
Prepare to upset his own Merry Christmas. We will see who wins out. This is one night that no one can take from me.
What's he going to do?
Please forgive Fritz. He didn't mean to hurt you. Of all the gifts I've ever received, I love you the most.
The Nuttiest Nutcracker is an early CGI Christmas special that's trying oh so hard, and the results, they're just absolutely charming in their awkwardness. This is a Nutcracker adaptation where anthropomorphic fruits, vegetables, and nuts try and help Marie save Christmas from a mouse army led by Reginald the Rat King, voiced by none other than the legendary Jim Belushi, who sounds like he was having the time of his life.
Somewhere high on a ladder, and the royal head was hit. A girl. I recall a girl. Not a girl. A goddess. A princess!
Now the animation, it does look like a PS1 cutscene, but I think that's kind of part of the appeal here. The voice cast for this movie is super stacked. I already talked about Belushi, right? But you got Cheech Marin's on this, Phyllis Diller. They're just all giving it their everything. Belushi's Reginald is the best part of this movie. The plot is nuts, and that pun was intended. I mean, there's a fruit and vegetable army, a cheese factory, and somewhere in there is an actual Nutcracker story just struggling to get out. This was a direct-to-video animation from an era when studios were figuring out CGI on shoestring budgets. And the ambition totally exceeds the technology. But there's some heart in this one. The message about helping those who've hurt you, it's sweet, right? And the sheer weirdness of watching a peanut and a carrot fight a mouse army, so awesome. It's a time capsule of late 90s animation ambition, and it's way more entertaining than it has any right to be. Plus, I mean, Reginald singing about being the big cheese, it's an absolute highlight.
Out of my way!
One side!
Coming through!
Make way!
Watch your back!
Women in citrus first. My friends, please! We have to work together. We have to help each other.
He's right. Oh, it's true.
Of course.
It's a beautiful tree.
Uh-huh. Would you like to meet it?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Magic Christmas tree? I'd like you to meet Santa Claus.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Mr. Claus.
It talks.
The Magic Christmas Tree is a low-budget wonder about this kid who helps a witch, who is disguised as a hobo, and gets a magic ring that grants one wish. He wishes for a magical Christmas tree, and he gets one with a face that talks in this like deep, ominous voice.
Nonsense. Of course it worked. Try it and see. Just point your finger at something and watch.
Oh, and this tree, it grants more wishes. So totally forget about the ixnay I have more wishes thing here. And then chaos ensues. This is the kind of beautiful schlock that could only exist in the 60s. The production values are like elementary school play level, which I guess that's really part of the charm here. And it's got minimal sets, questionable lighting, and that friggin' tree. I mean, this tree, right? It's sometimes hilarious and often unsettling. The carved face that appears in smoke and booms out wishes like it's judging your soul. Every time that thing shows up, the movie takes on a surreal quality that makes you wonder if you're hallucinating or something. The plot is super loose. Kid gets wishes, uses them for toys and mischief, and I guess he learns, I don't know, something. The moral is pretty unclear here. But there's some vibes. This is the kind of movie that would play on local TV at 2 a.m. and just totally complement your high perfectly. It's not scary, but it is weird in ways that stick with you. That tree, it just haunts me. And I'm going to say that's a compliment. This is pure low-budget regional filmmaking with big dreams and zero resources. And there's just something beautiful about that type of ambition.
It's gone. Well, it must be around somewhere. It couldn't just walk off.
Well, it isn't here now.
Well, what did you do with it, dear?
It's been stolen, and I'm going to call the police. But
I turned my house into an asylum. I brought doctors to live there. I welcomed other patients. Useless. All of it.
Silent Night, Bloody Night is a proto-slasher that deserves just way more recognition than it gets. All right, in the story, you have a man who inherits a mansion on Christmas Eve and then discovers its dark history involves an asylum and a whole bunch of brutal murders. This is gothic horror meets early slasher, with axe murderers and a twist ending, but it actually works. It's public domain now, so print quality varies wildly, but beneath the grain, it's a legitimately effective horror film. The asylum flashback sequences, they're disturbing and shot in this like sepia nightmare aesthetic that's just super unsettling.
I knew what they might do if these inmates were freed.
The kills are brutal for 1972. It uses practical gore effects that hold up surprisingly well. And the twist about who's doing the killing, it's actually really well constructed and earns its reveal. This isn't just competent, It's actually good. I mean, especially for like early 70s indie horror. What makes this special now is how much it influenced the slasher boom, with just getting zero credit. Halloween and Friday the 13th refined what the film established. Holiday setting, adding irony, masked killer, mystery structure. But it's grim and it's ugly in ways that feels more real than most slasher films. The Christmas setting feels incidental, but it adds this layer of darkness, violence during the most wonderful time of the year type of thing. It's rough around the edges and hard to find in good quality, but essential for understanding how Christmas horror evolved. It's way better than its obscurity suggests, and it's a legitimate hidden gem.
I'm Diane Adams. I spoke to you before.
Bring your father to the house. This is Marianne. Tell him
Hey, I get it. Gremlins, not really a cult movie or exploitation film, but this movie absolutely messed me up as a kid, so I want to talk about it anyways. This movie was controversial. I mean, this is why we have PG-13 today, because parents, they were furious about the violence in what they thought was just a cute little creature movie. A little about the plot, you got a guy who buys a mogwai as a Christmas present. Don't break the rules, don't feed him after midnight, don't get wet. But then that happens and it unleashes reptilian chaos on a small town. This is Joe Dante being just gleefully subversive with studio budget and Spielberg protection. The Gremlins are just incredible. The practical effects, they're just gross, they're mean, they're hilarious, they're perfect. These Gremlins are explicitly evil, cackling as they cause mayhem. They blow things up, they terrorize people. They send people out the roof on their wheelchairs or whatever those things are called. And they're just having the time of their lives doing it. Oh man, I know we got Phoebe Cates' monologue about her dad dying dressed as Santa stuck in the chimney. It's so dark for a PG movie. This movie hates Christmas commercialization while being a Christmas movie. It's having it both ways just beautifully. The creature effects are top-tier 80s practical work. The humor is mean, but super funny, and it walks this perfect line between family-friendly and just disturbing. This still holds up completely today. It's still delightfully mean-spirited and proved that mainstream exploitation can be art when the right filmmaker gets control.
Hey, folks!
Step forward. Look alive there. All right, turn around. All right, sideways. Turn sideways.
Christmas Evil, it's the OG homicidal Santa film. 4 years before Silent Night, Deadly Night caused all those protests. What we have here is a toy factory worker who's obsessed with Christmas since childhood, and then snaps and becomes Santa, who's delivering toys to deserving kids, but punishing naughty adults with an axe. And here's what makes this one special. You actually feel for this guy. Brandon Maggart, he gives a heartbreaking performance as Harry. He's a man whose entire identity, it's Christmas. He keeps these naughty and nice lists, and he believes in the magic. But when reality crushes that belief, from corrupt bosses, cynical coworkers, and just a world that really doesn't care, he doesn't just snap, he transforms. The Santa suit, it's not a disguise. It's actually who he truly is. The violence, it's brutal, but it is sparse. This is a character study about mental illness and obsession that happens to include a little bit of murder. John Waters called this the greatest Christmas movie ever made. Well, that's John Waters for you, right? And while that's hyperbole, it did earn its cult status. This is exploitation that cares deeply about the protagonists, which is kind of rare. The movie's, it's sad and strange and a little bit moving. It's a legitimate cult classic. that influenced every homicidal Santa movie that followed.
You look ready for a busy night.
Come now, Charles, a little respect. Seriously, Santa Claus, will you tell our viewers if you just arrived? How was the trip down?
I can't believe it. That's the first time in months they've gone to sleep without the sleep spray.
Santa, tomorrow we'll set up a workshop for you.
Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is just pure joy. Martians kidnap Santa because their children have become obsessed with Earth television.
Something is wrong with our children. They eat not, they sleep not. Their only interest is watching meaningless Earth programs on the video.
And are now depressed. They need Santa to bring joy back to Mars. And then these two Earth kids get kidnapped alongside with Santa, and they help set up a toy factory on the Martian soil. The special effects, they're like Ed Wood level magnificent. You know, spaceships with visible strings. Mars is just clearly on a soundstage. And there's even like this polar bear costume that's just tragic. And the robot, it looks like a cardboard box with arms. But really, none of that matters because this movie is just having so much fun. This whole thing is quotable and ridiculous in the best way possible.
What is a Christmas?
It is an occasion for great joy and peace on the planet Earth.
This is exploitation filmmaking that's wholesome in its badness. It's trying to make fun of kids' movies and just failing spectacularly at craft while succeeding at charm. Watching this doesn't make you feel dirty. It actually makes you smile. This is so bad it's good at its absolute peak. A movie made with genuine good intentions, minimal resources, and just maximum heart. It's terrible and wonderful, and I love this one completely.
Denise? Are you okay? Oh, if this is some kind of joke, I'm gonna kill her.
Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's the king. Well, at least it's the controversy king. All right, we have a kid who witnesses his parents getting murdered by a criminal in a Santa suit. Then he gets sent to this abusive Catholic orphanage, grows up traumatized, and then snaps when forced to wear a Santa suit at his toy store job. He goes on this Yuletide killing spree, and the movie that results caused just massive moral panic. There were protests, and they were enormous. You know, parents were picketing the theaters, the PTA demanded that it be pulled, Mickey Rooney called the filmmakers scum in an open letter, and this was before he actually starred in the 5th sequel. It's a bit awkward. TriStar pulled it after 1 week despite the strong box office. The image of Santa with an axe just traumatized children nationwide. This wasn't just a movie. It was a cultural moment where America collectively clutched its pearls. But I mean, here's the thing. The thing's good. Robert Brian Wilson plays Billy with real pain. You understand exactly why this guy breaks. The first act establishes his trauma. It's actually disturbing. The orphanage abuse, the sexual repression, the psychological torture. It's effective character work. The kills are really creative. You know, death by Christmas lights, the infamous deer antlers impalement. We have arrows and axes, and the gore effects are just solid 80s practical work. What makes this the #1, it's how it balances exploitation with good actual filmmaking. It's transgressive, but shocking. But it's also tragic, right? Billy is a victim who becomes a monster, and the movie never forgets that. The ending where he tells the children, "You're safe now," before dying, it's heartbreaking. This set the template for every Christmas slasher that followed, and it earned its controversy and its cult status. It's the perfect marriage of exploitation and competent horror filmmaking. It's essential viewing, and it still shocks like 40 years later. You know, for some reason, Christmas just brings out the weirdest, wildest creativity in filmmakers. Whether they're wholesome disasters or transgressive horror, they just all share that beautiful exploitation spirit. Making movies with more ambition than resources and just zero shame about going for it. Hey, do me a favor. Drop a comment with what your favorite Christmas exploitation film is, and let me know which one you're watching this year. And by the way, keep it weird, folks, especially during the holidays.
Of all the gifts, names, and addresses.
Well, just put it over there. Well, thank heaven I still have a very good memory, hey? And I know every single child on earth.
Another wife someplace. And I guess Mrs. Mo will really be better off without me. I did the housework and was able to talk with her during the long evenings